We love our little Shiggy, and we owe him a great deal.
Indeed we do.
So let's look at his high points and low points.
Let's go!
Is that what you're doing? Warming up your hands?
Yes.
All right. So Miyamoto has been around longer than so many people in the gaming industry. He's made probably more than anybody. Mm-hmm. And mostly good stuff.
Yeah.
And some really terrible stuff.
Yes. Also some real stinkers.
That he deserves to have a couple toes chopped off for making. So... what do you say, Simeon?
Let's talk about them.
Should we go like positive first?
Yeah, let's build them up before we tear them down.
Okay. Wait. That should be backwards, shouldn't it?
No.
Okay. So I think one of the highs is Donkey Kong. And there's really a lot of interesting interviews coming out in promotion of the NES Classic Edition. They were interviewing Miyamoto and talking about what it was like to make those games back then. And it was pretty cool. Originally... Pauline said like help, like actual English. Mm-hmm. And then the speakers, they just weren't good enough and stuff. So they replaced it with like Donkey Kong grunts and stuff. So that's where some of that comes from. And then he was talking about like how you die if you jump from 1.5 times Mario's height because he wanted it to be really realistic. And like we don't think of Donkey Kong as a realistic game now. We're like, yeah, it's just an arcade game, but that's really what he's going for.
Wow.
So
just those little touches.
Yeah. That's cool. And then, of course, there was Super Mario Bros., which I kind of can't believe happened. Like, the gameplay is great, but the game is just so weird.
It is.
It's really kind of a fluke that it took off, and the rest of the series has been so popular ever since.
That's very true.
It's such a weird part of his mind that must have came from.
Yeah, little walking chestnuts and turtles that you throw at people and
I know.
eating... mushrooms and flowers that have faces. Yeah. It's a little strange. I guess only the stars had faces in the original.
And clouds?
The clouds.
Had eyes?
The clouds.
At least? Who knows?
Yeah. It's just really weird.
Do you expect us to know what we're talking about? No.
Why are you watching this?
No. Did you want to touch on any of the highs?
I want to do this as a sort of transition between... the highs and the lows.
Okay, I got a few more.
So you go first before I transition.
Super Mario Maker came out recently, and I think that's great because he gets to like pretty much pass on the torch to the gamers. And it's cool because he created Mario, he created that original game, and now he's like giving the tools to this huge fan base that he's built up about people that like love these characters and these worlds and tool sets and palettes and stuff, and just gets to completely give the reins over to them. So I would be happy if I was Miyamoto and that was like the last game that I made. It's like coming full circle. I made this and I made it for you, and now I'm giving this to you to make it yourself. But he's not done. He made Super Mario Run, which I think is another big high for him, especially how he got to partner with Apple, come out on their stage.
Yes.
Even after Nintendo hasn't been doing stage events themselves for a long time. I think that was probably just a ton of fun for him to surprise the audience like that. We didn't know he was going to be there, and people just received him so warmly and stuff. And he talked really positively about his relationship with Apple. In an interview, he said that they connected over colors. Do you remember the old Apple logo before it was just one color? It used to be like a rainbow inside of it. He said he really liked that, and it reminded him of the multicolored buttons on the SNES. And he said he brought that up in a meeting, and then everybody was like, ha ha ha, we're such good friends, and they loved each other.
Yes. That's the way that Miyamoto works. And if I were to mention one highlight that you didn't mention, besides all the wonderful things that he's done over the years, the E3 2005, I believe it was, when he came out on stage, and
might have even been 4, but it was for Twilight Princess.
For Twilight Princess, when he came out with the short sword and the shield and the one-up shirt, and he was the hero. He was the ultimate hero. And this is my transition point. Talking about the good and the bad is, I feel like Miyamoto is everyone's grandpa.
Yeah.
And that, you know, we love Grandpa, and we love it when Grandpa, you know, takes us to the ballpark or whatever and gives us candy and spends time with us. But then
tells stories.
And but then sometimes the stories get kind of weird. And sometimes Grandpa buys you Christmas presents, and it's just kind of like, you know, he buys you something and he's like, oh, they're really gonna love this. I'm really excited about them getting this. And then you open it up and you're like, oh, Grandpa, what were you thinking? Thank you. And he's sitting there going like this.
Yeah.
And that's Miyamoto. And so we have the good, and we also have the... It's not like he's evil. He's not a bad guy. He's just kind of like, you go, well, okay.
Simeon, that is a fantastic comparison. I love the angle, and it completely explains a lot of how I feel. So let's get into these lows. The low lights of Miyamoto's career.
And the first one, and the one I think that comes out, is, you know, E3 2005. That was definitely the, you know, apex of, you know, everyone, him being the hero.
Should have retired.
And then you look at his E3 appearances since, especially... Robbie drums.
Oh my garf.
And the playing Wii music on the stage, and it was it's so cringeworthy.
Yeah.
So bad.
It makes you want to cringe like,
yes, I know,
just go take a shower.
Yeah. And you know, Wii Music was a game that has so much potential. And you know, of course he was excited about it. And even on that stage, you look and you go, oh, he got it so wrong. He got it so terribly wrong.
Yep. Nintendogs was another one, because it could have been a good game. It could have been just like one title, or even something episodic where like each chunk costs $10 or something.
Right.
But it just went on, and now it's the Dashuns and the Dalmatians, and it's Plus Cats, and Plus Cats was one of the most mocked things on the internet. And people started adding
dogs and cats.
People on the internet started adding Plus Cats to just everything. You want to come over tonight, play some video games, eat some pizza plus cats and stuff? Yeah. So, Nintendogs was terrible. Wii Music, like you said, that's probably the least beloved Miyamoto game, because he made something that literally resonated with no audience. Sometimes Nintendo puts out some things like, oh yeah, that's for the casual people. Okay, that's for the people who are trying to get fit. Wii Music was for nobody. Yeah. And I can't believe that they were able to make a game like that at a time where they had the biggest audience possible.
Yep.
They're like, we have 100, what was it, 100,000? What was it?
This is
100 million?
Yeah, something like that, a lot.
100 million Wii install base, and which sector of that are we going to make a game for? No one.
Literally had no one. And I got that game. I got it as a gift, but I did want the game.
Okay.
And I'm kind of glad that I have it. But it's not a good game.
Yeah.
It just isn't. Steel Diver is another one of those that, you know, he was excited for. He decided, Grandpa, I want everybody to play this. It's going to be really great.
I know. This will launch the 3DS to success.
Yes. And how many of us fondly remember Steel Diver, or even remember that it is a first-party game? Yeah. That's just...
That one was in the discount bin pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Star Fox Zero is one that he just like recently spent so long on, years and years in developing that game. He talked it up, talked about how the storyline was gonna just blow everyone away, how the controls are just out of this world.
Yeah, wait for the portals, right?
And this game just did not make a splash. Didn't grip anyone. Like, you know, a few outlets, they're like, yeah, I got the hang of the controls after a little bit. They reviewed it favorably, and it's just like not something anyone ever goes back to. You don't enjoy that game enough to replay it as much as you did the 64 version or something.
Right.
It just, Miyamoto has constantly chased the shadow of Star Fox 64, and that's a little sad.
It is indeed. One thing that I thought was interesting is, like, you know, okay, Miyamoto's always like so positive about his stuff, and he always makes those comments like, you know, I made this game and this part of it is really great.
Yeah.
And that ends up being the part that everybody forgets. But I was wondering what he thought was his worst game. And I actually ran across an interview in which he said Zelda 2 on the NES. He said that Zelda 2 was his one bad game. Like the guy interviewing him asked if he made a bad game. He said the one bad game would be Zelda 2.
Oh, wow.
And he went on to further explain himself. He says, when we're designing games, we have our plan for what we're going to design, but in our process, it evolves and grows from there. In Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link, unfortunately, all we ended up creating was what we had originally planned on paper.
Oh.
So, and it didn't fit his measure of success, which was we plan it and then it grows. But he basically says we got what we asked for, and that wasn't enough for me, which I think is amazing.
That would be like if we made a TBC episode and we just read our notes verbatim, never said anything in contexture, never bounced off each other.
Yeah, that would be boring.
That would be one bad episode.
It would be almost as bad as doing one that's completely unscripted. Like the mystery block. Anyway, continuing on.
We got to wrap this up, and just real quick, we'll touch on the lowest, the saddest point of Miyamoto's career, which is obviously Mario Kart Wii.
No.
It's just the blight upon his memory.
What is your deal? Why do you dislike that game so much? Like, maybe I'll go back and say it's not as good as some of the stuff that has even come out since. Good. But why do you think it's so bad?
I don't need to re-explain myself here. There's going to be a little card that pops up. People can click through to the It's an unlisted video of our Mario Kart debate.
Yes.
Watch that. So, in serious closing, Miyamoto's made a ton of games. He made so many on the NES. That list was so long.
Oh, yeah.
We learned recently that each game on the NES took 3 months to develop. That's all it took to make an NES game. So he pumped a lot out. And he's kept up really good pace over the years. Now he's stepping back a little bit, and recently what he's commented on a lot is he enjoys letting younger developers take over, and they headed the development up on Splatoon, and that game did amazingly. And now they're trusting the younger developers to even head up the development of Switch and Switch games. So Miyamoto's like, I'm working on Super Mario Run and the theme park, and he's probably going to retire soon. Wow. So he's doing a good job passing the torch to these younger developers, and so far they are not disappointing him. So that's pretty cool.
Way to go, Grandpa.
Yeah, way to go.
Doing a good job.
Thanks for watching, and thanks for being a part of the crew.
Don't forget to share this video with your friends and share the love that we have for Mr. Miyamoto.
See you guys next time.
Signing out.